Hello again. On behalf of Firefly Ministry and the Decatur, Tennessee Seventh-day Adventist Church, we want to welcome you to a preview of this week's message by Pastor Shelton. We do hope that you're having an enjoyable and a blessed week. Now, if you joined us for last week's message, you will recall that our study was entitled Climate Change and Final Events. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, I would encourage you to do so before this Sabbath. It will probably prove to give you a good background for this week's message, which is going to be entitled Green Sabbaths and Cashless Society. Well, you know, I kind of have an interesting follow-up and even a bit of irony as it relates to last week's message. It seems the same day, that's May 15th, that we were studying climate change and final events here in our sanctuary, the United States Climate Envoy, John Kerry, was at the Vatican giving a keynote address to a closed-door meeting of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences and Social Sciences. Following his address, he held a private meeting with Pope Francis at the Vatican. If you'd like to read the article about that, Cindy Wooden wrote it. She's from the Catholic News Service, and we've also put it into our online description of today's video. You'll also probably remember that last week, Pastor Shelton made a reference to the growing movement for a Green Sabbath and Climate Sunday. Several of you contacted us saying that you'd like to know more about that. So here's a video produced to promote an event called COP26. That's a meeting that's going to be held in Glasgow, Scotland on November 12th of this year. I'll play the video and then have some comments on the other side.
As Christians, we believe that the earth is the Lord's and everything in it. We are confident that God calls us to be part of restoring all of creation to full life.
That's why this year, as the UK prepares to host the United Nations Climate Summit COP26, churches across the UK are getting ready to take action through Climate Sunday.
Climate Sunday is an initiative of the UK Church's Environmental Issues Network. We're calling on churches all across the country to get involved in taking action for climate justice.
So, what does it involve?
We're inviting churches to begin prayer and worship. Our calling to climate action begins with our faith. Hold a climate service and together as a church family, begin to explore why action for the climate is part of our discipleship.
We're also inviting you to commit to long-term action for creation. In this crucial year for our climate, we as churches can play our part in the journey of our whole society towards climate positive living. Discern the next step for your church to take together.
Finally, we're inviting you to speak up. The church can bring a distinctive voice to the call for climate justice, rooted in our faith in a just and generous God. Join with others in calling for our leaders to be courageous at COP26 and to take ambitious action for creation.
This is a year for our church to live out our mission, to love our neighbour, and to seek justice for all creation. How will you get involved?
Now, the Climate Sunday initiative is calling on all local churches across Great Britain and Ireland to hold a climate-focused service on any Sunday before COP26. That's only the beginning. So far, over 1,000 churches have joined in. Now, the ultimate vision is to have thousands of churches make climate change a critical issue of discipleship while calling for bold international action at COP26. Now, we've also included the link to this video in our online description. This week, Pastor Shelton will go into greater detail on the Green Sabbath project and a cashless society. It's during this time of pandemic crisis that Satan has been aggressively working to socially, economically, and to morally restructure society. And he appears to be quite successful so far. But it's not over yet. The Apostle Paul reminds us that in times like these, we're to be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. And Jesus said, "Now I tell you before it comes, that when it does come to pass, you may believe that I am He." This week, the pastor will have an important and an encouraging message entitled Green Sabbaths and Cashless Society. We do hope that you'll join us in our sanctuary this Sabbath. It would be so good to see you and to worship with you. But if you can't be there, please plan on worshiping with us here on the internet. And until then, have a blessed week.